Hi, Kathleen. I'm so happy to see you again.
Well, thank you. I'm happy to see you too, Ivan.
Actually, we done 2 interviews or conversation with you, and Bulgarians, they're very excited to meet you. We put Bulgarian subtitles so they understand what you're talking about, and will be the same for that video now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So how was the festival in Roswell this year?
It was wonderful. It was the 75th anniversary of the Roswell UFO crash. And there were 11,000 people who went through the museum that weekend. There were also events around town, events at the town's conference center. And it's my understanding that every hotel room in town was filled. So very busy and wonderful, happy people.
I mean, 11,000 is too much for a small city like Roswell.
It's growing. Every major hotel chain is there now.
Yeah, I've been in Roswell so many times.
Mm-hmm.
I had very special relationship, like friendship, with Clifford Stone. And he passed away, unfortunately. I miss him very much. Mm-hmm. And I have his archives with me. And I'm checking time to time, and anytime I'm discovering more and more, not secrets, but stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we know about your book, Captured.
Yes.
And now something new around your investigations, research, and interesting stories.
Yes, well, I updated Captured, the Beti and Barni Hill UFO experience for the 60th anniversary of their event. And there is new evidence that has been analyzed by scientists, very exciting. And I'm going to present some of that at the conference in Bulgaria. So I'm very excited about that. And I hope that everybody will be excited to hear that as well. I don't know if you know this, but I've written 5 additional books. So
no, I didn't know. So now is the
yes,
time.
I have 6 books now. So they range anywhere from UFO abductions to contact, to experiments that I have done, to the history of government involvement in the investigation of UFOs, their major studies, their findings, the decision to cover up their findings, and those who were involved in the cover-up. So quite a wide variety of books to read. They're all on my website at Katlin-Marden.com.
We'll check that. So there's 2 theories about these abductions. People not fighting, but there's the supporters and people who is against that. Some people say, yeah, people really was taken in the UFOs. This is the one version, like the case with your aunt and uncle. And the other side says that is the military operations. They just projections in the mind, these pictures that they see UFO and then they was taken from UFO. Actually, now I remember I watched X-Files maybe 5 times, all seasons, because I love that. And one of the episodes, I remember that, I mean, this is science fiction, of course. We cannot trust no one. There's in one of the series, one of this deep state of the country says, they make you to believe. They make you to, you see whatever you want to see, but that is not real. So what is your expertise with the abductions?
So these conspiracy theorists are stating that American military forces are moving all over the world, projecting false thoughts into people's minds to cause them to believe that they have been abducted by aliens. Why would any American military do that? It's unconstitutional and it's evil. That it is extraordinarily difficult for me to believe that any of that is true. I work with experiencers every day. These people have evidence. They have physical evidence. Sometimes the craft is seen. It runs in families. It's not something that is a projection of some nefarious force on this planet. The idea of that is simply absurd to me. It's impossible.
I'm asking you because you're the expert and you have better knowledge than all these rumors flying in the world. That's why I'm asking you.
People have projected many false tales on Beti and Barney as well. Yeah. Some say that they were really Nazis who took my aunt and uncle. And that's absurd too. And I want to say that, they quote my uncle under hypnosis. Let me say first that my uncle had conscious recall of observing entities on the craft that were dressed in black, shiny uniforms that he said were somehow not human. When he started to see something drop out of the bottom of the craft, he feared for his life. He feared that he was going to be captured. And of course, what was dropping out of the craft was that beam, that sort of a carrier beam that takes humans to craft. So his sense was right. Mm. The reason he, under hypnosis, mentioned a Nazi at all is because Dr. Benjamin Simon, a very skilled neuropsychiatrist who set up the Mason General Hospital on Long Island in New York at the end of World War II, developed a special technique to use with people who were returning from the war front with shell shock or what they called conversion hysteria or battle fatigue. They had not been successful in working with these individuals, but Dr. Simon developed a special technique to get to the point of what caused this great emotional trauma that caused these soldiers to become so disabled. Mm-hmm. And he used this technique with Barney. And with Barney, he told him to describe anything in his life that reminded him of the emotional impact he was experiencing at that moment. Barney remembered under hypnosis the feeling that he had about Nazi soldiers. Barney was in World War II, and it was that same fear factor. That is what that was all about. From his conscious recall, he never described Nazis. And in hypnosis, when Dr. Simon questioned him over and over again, he never again mentioned Nazis. Mm-hmm. So, there are people who just love the thrill of some kind of spectacular adventure, I suppose you might say, rather than, I guess, regular alien abduction or ET contact must be boring to those people.
Yeah. Me personally, in UFO Disclosure, our goal is to share the truth. And yes. The truth, I'm looking with very credible people to talk about this. And that's why you are in the third time with UFO Disclosure Bulgaria. And I mean, I don't have any doubts of your research. And okay, can you tell us actually what these people say who've been taken, what they say, what is the reason to be taken, what they're doing with them, what they're looking with these human creatures.
Well, one of the big problems that humans face is that our technological development is out of balance with our spiritual growth. And when the ETs see this, and they've seen it on other planets, it can lead to mass destruction. And they don't want that to happen here. If you want to ask questions about ETs, some of the experiencers that I have worked with over a very long period of time have been able to capture video of these non-humans. And
the video is working?
Yes.
Because
it shut down after a few seconds when the ETs discovered that they were on camera. But yes, and I have some clear video frames. The video was from a distance. The ETs didn't realize they were on camera. But then I was able to use my photo analysis program in order to enlarge them. And clearly, they are not the military. They are non-human.
Can you share that video?
I'm showing that at my lectures this year.
Okay.
And, maybe I could slip that into the video presentation that I'm doing regarding Beti and Barney, just as something new.
That is amazing. It's
yes.
Really, yeah. So this ETs, actually, we're not very sure if they're the biological kind of ETs, or they're some kind of hybrids, or they something like a keyboards.
We can only depend upon people's observations and speculation, because we don't have an ET body that has been made public anyway, that has been tested. But the experiencers have reported for many, many years that they have had genetic material removed, and that some of them have met their hybrid babies. It's according to our studies, and I've worked on 3 major studies and 2 of those have been with PhD academics. We've done this study on about 5,000 experiencers to date, and only about 20 to 30% say that they have actually seen hybrids on craft. Usually they're seeing a variety of different entities, the grays, the human types, the mantis types and reptilian types, tall whites, just a few avians, others in a very small percentage.
Yeah.
So most people don't see hybrids on the craft.
I've been so far 2 times to Peru. That is one of my favorite places in South America. And I have a lot of friends now from there. And basically there's a scientists or people who are experiencers. And I talk with them and I ask them, last January I was in Peru, and before, maybe 5 years before also, and I asked if they had some experience with, or if they heard somebody to be taken. None of them says that they have information that someone is taken in UFO, but many people witnessing and sharing incredible stories for, not close encounter of third kind, but with these orbs and UFOs, different kind of phenomena.
Yes, and there are some amazing things happening in Peru where people are seeing craft rise up out of the water. And
Yes.
It
Yes.
approaches them, and entities are inside, and they communicate with them. And things are changing around the world. Many experiencers now can't see the entities, but they can feel their presence through a strong tingling sensation in their bodies. And then they have telepathic communication with these entities. So not as many people are being taken to craft as happened at one time. It seems that that part of the ET's agenda might be coming to an end, and more of a relationship is being established.
I talked with Hemi Mausan lately. He was in Utah for another UFO event. I asked him specifically about this mummies, they call mummies. They was found in caves between Nazca and Ica. And I asked him, do you know something new about this? And he said, yes, we have something new to show to the world, but we're waiting for Professor Roger, I forgot his last name, to announce that. And when they're ready, they'll do that. And he said two or three of these mummies, because they're 5, I think, they don't have anything originally with the humans. And
well,
that
it'd be very interesting to see a DNA analysis on them, not only what they look like physically, but what is their DNA?
My understanding is that they have only 1% match with the human DNA. 99% don't. Yeah. Anyway, have you, last time, maybe we talked, maybe 1 year or 2 years ago, anyway. What happened for this 1 or 2 years with you? Except the books you done.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's we have been on lockdown pretty much because of COVID, but I have done conferences virtually. In fact, last year I did one in Italy virtually. I've spoken in France virtually and in Denmark. And so I've been busy. I've spoken to a group in Germany virtually. And also in the United States, I was so proud last year when the International UFO Congress awarded me their Lifetime Achievement Award. And boy, I've worked really hard for that over the past 32 to 34 years. So it was a huge honor, and I truly appreciated that. I have been working with experiencers and now have a group for experiencers who meet once a month. And this is not experiencers who are having a great deal of difficulty with what's happening in their lives. It's for people who have had these experiences for many, many years, who are coming together to find the answers, the communications, that sort of thing. I've also been working on a project involving the US government and the Canadian government way back in 1954. The granddaughter of a Navy Rear Admiral, highly decorated, gave me the correspondence files between him and Wilbert Smith, who was a brilliant scientist from Canada and the director of Canada's UFO desk. So those files indicate contact experiments and attempts to communicate with these non-humans. It went to Dwight Eisenhower's desk, And the CIA, the FBI, the Air Force, and the Navy were involved in all of this, according to their letters and the FBI files. It's in my new book, Forbidden Knowledge. So if you want to see that, read about that, and also an experiment that I took part in with a man who claimed that he was communicating with extraterrestrials. That is in the book too. We actually received scientific evidence that there was something in the room with us, communicating with us. It was not this man hoaxing or this man's imagination. And these entities then came and communicated with us telepathically. They showed us craft. We could feel strong tingling in our bodies when they were near us. So it was really a little bit frightening at first, but truly amazing. We learned so much. We asked 120 questions and received their detailed answers. So that's in the book as well.
Is that these communications happen with the telepathy or how? Probably.
The man, Kevin Briggs, who used to be a police officer in the UK, but has lived in the United States for more than 20 years and is really a down-to-earth man, and his wife, who used to teach at a university in the UK and do research, hosted us, a team of researchers, at their home, and
they live in Florida.
Used his vocal cords.
Are they live in Florida?
Pardon me?
Are they live in Florida?
Yes, in Florida.
I think I know them.
Oh, okay. Maybe you do.
I know a family who moved to US, and this man, I had an interview with him maybe 3 years ago, and he said that he sent emails to United Nations, to
yes, he did.
UNICEF, and many organizations like this.
Yes.
And yeah, but that's he's something like channeling with them.
Yes, I guess it would be something like channeling, but the way it's done is that he sets his consciousness to one side and allows the speaker to come and use his vocal cords. Is what it is.
Oh, okay, like his voice is not changing.
It's his voice.
Oh, okay.
But it doesn't sound like him. And we can't see them because they're 5th and 6th dimensionals, and 2 are 9th dimensionals.
But you can feel it.
You can certainly feel it. And his body is soaking wet at the end. And he can't do this for a very long period of time, but his clothing is drenched, his hair, his face are simply dripping with perspiration.
What is the message?
Oh my gosh, 120 of them. But essentially, the message is that they are guardians of this quadrant of our galaxy, that they are watching over us, that they have assisted in our development before, and they are here to do it again, that they are very concerned about our failure to be good stewards to our environment. They fear an environmental collapse. They also fear nuclear war. That's nothing new. I mean, we've been hearing that for forever, but there are many, many more messages about who they are and their interest in our planet, even scientific messages about how their craft operates and what kind of fuel they use and that sort of thing as well.
Of course, even they say what the fuel and how they travel. And of course, we don't understand that because this is highly advanced technologies.
Yes, we couldn't do it. We could not do it, and we don't have probably the materials to do it.
What about these rumors that some of these ETs, they working for upgrading our DNA? Is that real, or?
That's what they say. They were doing this with the hybridization process, where human babies were being born with DNA that had been tweaked or upgraded, so that we would be hopefully less barbaric and move ahead on an evolutionary scale. And also they upgrade the DNA, they say, of experiencers. And so experiencers have many characteristics that we've discovered in our research studies that are not prevalent in the general population, such as becoming psychic or intuitive, being empaths, becoming highly spiritual, being able to communicate sometimes telepathically, being able to channel healing to others.
So that is not only for the newborn, but also for elderly people like me.
Yes, many experiencers have been healed by these non-human entities. In fact, I've worked with a man who had cancer, and I told him to ask the ETs for healing several times a day. I said, they will hear you. Just ask telepathically or speak it if you want, but they will hear you. And they did come, and they healed him from cancer. We have many cases like that now.
I have a friend, it's a personal story from last September. I was in Bulgaria for 3 weeks, and I have very, very, very good friend, a lady. She had 2 cancers, and she fighting with these cancers for years. Chemotherapy is kind of helpful, but not exactly full recovery. And then I heard about one lady in Bulgaria, old lady. She lived in the mountain, and actually people who is assisting with her, they say that about 8 million, I got a notification that they are ending that video. Anyway, we went with my friend to that old lady, and actually now she don't have any more cancer.
Wonderful.
She texts me. I returned to US. She texts me and she said, I was for exam, and doctor says I don't have any more cancer. And since then, every 3 months she's going for another exam, and they don't have anything. It's amazing.
It's terrific when that happens.
It's so nice to talk with you, but they will cancel this recording. Anyway, what is your final words for Bulgarians? What they can expect with you?
Oh my gosh. Well, I want to say hello and very best wishes to the people of Bulgaria. I will look forward to presenting for you in September on Beti and Barni Hill, and what we have learned in 61 years. So I'm looking forward to that, and I want to wish all of you the very best.
Thank you so much, Katlin, and I wish you a wonderful afternoon, and we'll keep in touch. I mean,
okay,
we're friends forever.
Yes, great to talk with you.
Yeah, thank you again. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.